I had a couple of questions about cookware. Now, anyone that's watched my videos knows that I am the most primitive of all the modern carnivores. This is an original kitchen from 1959 with termites, rot, and all. Also notice the cookware, it's pretty old. The newest thing you'll find here is this stainless steel pot, which, as you can see at the moment, is frying chicken in pure lard. This right here is one of my frying pans. It's pretty old. And I'm doing sort of a little bit of a cleaning and maintenance type thing. When you cook with this cast iron cookware, you'll notice that some of these do have a little bit of rust in them. This pan hasn't been used very often. This is a number 6. Let's see what type. This one's a number 8, I think it is. This one over here, see, it's got the manufacturer's Griswold. I don't know how old this is, but I know it was around when I was a kid. Now, after using the pan, normally what I'll do, I'll simply put the pan in water and just use my hand to get rid of any chunks or food particles that are left. You never want to use any kind of detergent on these pans, because if you do that, you'll take the fat off and then they'll start to rust. This, as you've probably seen before, is my egg pan. It's used every single day. And it has never been washed that I can remember. It's simply wiped off. This over here, this is my griddle. This is my favorite thing for making a heart attack burger. I have no idea how old it is. It does have the Lodge name on it. I don't know where this was made. I would assume it says USA. I have no idea how old this is. All I know is I've had it for decades. And again, look at how good it looks. It looks really nice. Now you'll see around the edge sometimes there's a little bit of rust, but it's not really a problem. After the pan has been cleaned, then you want to heat it up, and then we'll put it off to the side to cool off. The worst thing for cast iron is water. Now notice that this fat sort of has a cloudy appearance. This is what happens when water and fats mix. So we simply put it on the fire, and we're going to let it heat up. Now as it heats up, what will happen is that any fats that are mixed with water will separate out. Remember, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Fat does not boil at that temperature. It takes more than that temperature just to reach a smoke point, and it takes even more than that to burn it. So once we put this on the fire and the pan begins to heat up, what will happen, and you can see it's already happening, notice that it's starting to get less white. That moisture is being boiled off. And once that is complete, you'll notice that the pan has sort of a black appearance. When it reaches that black appearance, then you can simply take it off the fire and let it cool. Every so often, if you do notice any kind of buildup of material, you could take a paper towel or even a piece of cloth and wipe it down. And of course, that's all. There's nothing else you have to do. I hate modern cookware. I absolutely hate it. I will not use anything that's made of aluminum. I don't want to use anything that is coated with any type of coating, whether it's Teflon or the new so-called ceramic coating, which, by the way, is probably even worse than Teflon. It seems like every time they come up with a solution, they make it worse. Just like how seed oils were supposed to deliver us from those evil saturated fats. Now take a look. See how this pan is starting to become more black? There's still some of the moisture at the edge, but it's very simple. The other thing, and I think the main reason why cast iron cookware has fallen out of favor, is because today a lot of people are making plant-based foods. And plant-based foods are often going to be cooked in acidic solutions. You may have to use a lot more water. Now, I use a lot of water for cooking as well. But notice, I normally use a stainless steel pot. And I have a few of them up on the wall. In fact, I have various. This one right here. This is an extremely old stainless steel pot. The base is actually a type of bonded aluminum. I've used this for frying and also for boiling foods. And that's generally how it works. Now, I used to fry in a cast iron pot. The problem was, my mother actually broke it many years ago. I think they called it a Dutch oven. I'm not sure what it was. But what happened was, my mom hated it. She couldn't stand that thing, so she wanted to throw it away. So she put it outside with the garbage. And somehow it got knocked over and it broke. So that was the end of my cast iron frying pot. But stainless steel works really, really well. And again, I'm not trying to tell anyone that using non-stick is a dangerous thing, has any kind of health effects. I just don't like it. I don't like the way it looks. And sometimes you got to use a spatula. You don't want to scrape that, non-stick surface. With this, doesn't matter. You're not going to hurt this. And that's the beauty of it. Now, you may damage temporarily your coating that you make from the fat, but take a look. See? And again, this isn't perfect. There's still that little corner over here that may need a little bit more heat, but it should be enough to prevent rust. And again, if you don't overheat your pan, you can still hold it without a problem. Now again, my mom did most of the cooking when I was growing up. And I think one of the reasons that she hated cast iron is because she said it was too heavy. And this is a complaint that I've heard from many people, talking about how heavy cast iron is. And of course how hot it gets. But this being a rather large pan, doesn't really take that much to handle it. And if you want to flip something, that's pretty easy to do. I don't know, to me, it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Pick up a pan. But hey, to each their own, right? The handle's, it's a little bit warm, and you can see all the moisture has boiled off. So now we'll turn the fire off, and we'll just let the pan cool naturally. In fact, a lot of times on the stove, I'll just kind of let them cool together. Put one inside the other. Here's the other one. Put that inside. We'll just push this to the back of the stove until we need it. That's what I normally do. Put this over here. And that's it. Oh, and while I'm at it, let me stir my fried chicken a little bit. Okay, that seems to be doing pretty well. It's been in here about 7-8 minutes. Still pretty soft. It hasn't crisped up yet. Put the light on here. See? So, pretty basic. You'll notice there is no breading, there is no seasoning, there is nothing. And by the way, this is just on the gas stove. And there's lard in here. I have my fire extinguisher handy, but in all the years I've been doing it, I've never had a kitchen fire. Ever. I put the lid here just as sort of an anti-splatter device, but notice there really isn't any. In fact, if you look at the lid, it's just moisture. So we don't really need it. And there you go. Again, very simple way to cook. You can do other things. Just don't let your food burn. And that's it. See you next time.